There wasn't ever a moment where I was like, I'm gonna be a photographer. It just kind of evolved. It's not like somebody goes like, here's where you go, here's who you photograph. It's always like, here's the topic and see you in a couple months and you better have the goods. In India, you can kind of do some research on paper and through books and the internet, but you really have to go there. And I was in the region for something else, so I went and checked it out for about a week. The story kind of stuck with me. A lot of times when I'm approaching a story, I try to come up with themes for each place that help me visually tell the story. And in India, the place that I got to was really beauty and feminine, because I feel like the widows there were so stripped of that. I mean, these were like women, like really beautiful women. And there was this, because of all the stigmas, there was sort of this stripping down of their femininity. And I wanted to see it and show it. There was one day in India where I met this woman. She was really cool. She, in India, there's this expectation, especially in more traditional spots, to wear all white. And she was wearing the most colorful sari. It was like these big balloon colors, like blue and yellow and orange. And I asked her, I remember being like, why are you wearing the colorful sari? Which I thought was great. And she was like, there's a saying in India that if you see a woman in white in the morning, you're gonna have bad luck all day. And she was like, you know what? I really didn't want to be the cause of somebody else's bad luck. So she's like, I decided from then to wear all colors. So she was this great, strong woman. But then when she told me her story, it was like she was her parents couldn't afford her. So they sold her as a house worker when she was 9 years old to a richer family in the city. And then they didn't like her, so they left her on the street. She somehow found her way back to the village, but then in that time somebody had taken her as a wife. So of course then she was rejected by the village because she was a widow, and also she was spoiled. At 9 years old, to be just handed off to this family by her own family, it just felt so like, where do you go from there? Where do you even start to try to improve this woman's life, and for no fault of her own, just ending up in this whole cycle, a lot because she was female. They wouldn't have done that with a son. And so that's just one moment where you're just like, you just don't know how to process it. I need to always work towards being appreciative of how lucky I am. I'm not always good at it, but I definitely loop back to it and be like, whoa, I'm so lucky just by where I was born.